The idea of just having to work more to make more, not that exciting, right? So let's break down a few ways that you could actually earn significantly more without having to necessarily work more hours or spend more time. What I'm going to explain and offer to you are the ways that successful business owners, successful consultants, and entrepreneurs think about leverage, think about creating more with less. So the first approach, and this is very relevant to the world of professional services and to consulting, and that is value-focused pricing. If you're right now charging on an hourly basis, you are going to reach a ceiling. You're going to have a cap. And that's just simply for the fact that when you think about saying to somebody, my fee is $1,500 per hour, that blows most people away, right? They're shocked. Even before you get to that number, when you start talking about $500 per hour, for a lot of people, right, that's going to scare them out of the room. They're going to ask you to leave. They're going to dismiss it. Now, there are people who routinely charge $500 per hour, in some cases, even towards $1,000 per hour, but they are like the 1% or the 0.5%. You think about some very skilled, established, successful, international tax accountants or people like that. Sure, their fees might be in that range, but for most consultants and for most people, and even for most buyers, when you talk about an hourly fee at that level, it scares them away. The problem also with hourly fees is that the focus is on hours, when the focus really should be on outcome. A buyer doesn't really care how many hours it takes you to do something. They care about what is the outcome that they get, the result they get, the value that they get, right? The return on investment that they receive from the work that you're going to do for them. So when we talk about how you can get a lot more, or how you can earn more in less time, charging on an hourly basis goes in direct opposition to that, because the only way that you can really earn more is to work more hours. Especially when you reach that kind of cap, most consulting firms, most consultants will start to see resistance as they reach $300, $400, $500 per hour. However, those that are charging based on value can routinely earn $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000 or more per hour equivalent. So the key is don't charge by the hour, right? Focus on the outcomes, focus on the ROI. And instead of saying that it's going to take you, as an example, 100 hours at $200 per hour to deliver a project, you might be able to deliver that project and charge, let's call it $20,000, but what if it only takes you 50 hours? Or what if you can deliver that same level of value and outcome in 10 hours, right? The client is still going to be very, very happy as long as they're getting great value, right? And the ROI is there for them, but it can take you significantly less time to still earn the same amount of money. We've had many clients in our clarity coaching programs over the years that we've helped to make adjustments to their pricing strategy that has allowed them to earn 2, 3, 4, in one case, even 7 times more than they were before without having to spend any more time. So this can be a great opportunity for you to spend the same amount of time as you are right now in your business, but just really move your level of compensation, your income, your revenue to much higher levels, or to work less, work fewer hours, but still make more money. And in almost all cases, this adjustment from hourly fees to value-focused pricing is all profit, right? It drops to your bottom line. So it's not just about making more money that you don't actually get to keep. It's most of this is going to be very high profit dollars. All right, let's talk about the second way that you can earn more in less time, and that is to productize your services. If you are always providing custom services, meaning that every time you're working with a client, the majority of the work that you're doing is new, it's different. It requires you to create new documents, new resources, or new slide deck, new spreadsheets. You have to deliver new workshops, and just the thought process of how to solve that problem. If the majority of it is new, then it's hard for you to find ways to save time in that custom environment, which is why so many consulting firms over the last many years have really shifted a higher and higher percentage of their offerings to be productized. In that scenario, what you're doing is instead of spending so much time customizing, you spend a lot more time taking what you already know works and applying that, and therefore it doesn't take you as much time to deliver. So one of the benefits is that you can typically deliver the result your client wants in less time, which means they get to benefit from the outcome of that result, right? The value that you're delivering much sooner. It doesn't take you, call it 6 months anymore. Maybe you can deliver that in 6 weeks. So they start to see the benefit from week 6, as opposed to having to wait until month 6 to see that result. And you can charge the same amount in most cases because the value hasn't changed for them, right? So more profitability for you because less time to create that same result and the same level of compensation for you. But the other benefit in terms of being able to earn more in less time is that with a productized offer, because so much of the process, right, the system or the program that you're taking a client through is standardized, right? It's productized. You have repeatable components to it. It's also easier for you to train other people to help you to deliver that. And so there's many benefits of productization: higher profitability, greater efficiency, in most cases, more consistent results because you're doing the same thing or very similar thing over and over again. And so you get better at it naturally, right? You get better at it, your team gets better at it, and therefore your client gets a better result over and over again. As you deliver it, you get better at it. Whereas if it's custom, there's always different things happening. So it's harder to create consistent results when the project is custom in nature. All right, let's talk about the third way for you to earn more in less time. And that is to really start to leverage technology, systems, and I'll add to that delegation. So similar in nature to productizing your services, here what you want to look for are repetitive tasks, repetitive activities. You want to look at how you are managing an individual project or a group of projects. And you really want to think about how can I bring in technology or systems so that we don't have to repeat the same thing manually anymore. Instead, we automate it. Another way to think of this is from a sales, marketing, business, development perspective. Maybe right now there's things that you're not doing simply because it's manual and you're losing or forgetting to do it. And by bringing in some technology or having a system, it reminds you, and therefore you are more consistent in taking the actions that you need to actually grow your business, right? So whether it's you're creating more templates, more framework, whether you're using a project management tool or system, whether you are using some kind of AI to help you to be more efficient and therefore also hopefully more effective, or you're really looking at everything that you're doing and asking yourself, what is high value, what is low value, where am I best suited, and where should I really be spending my time so I can create the greatest value, and where should I not be spending my time right now that I am, and then delegating that. Because as a business owner, if you are operating essentially as an employee inside of your business, then you're not going to have the time and the bandwidth to be strategic. You're by nature not going to have the time to really spend on creating greater value and winning more business for your business because you're going to be so stuck in the weeds doing the stuff that others really should be helping you to do. Now, I want to kind of put one distinction or kind of caveat here, which is if you're joining me right now, you're listening to this, you're watching this, and you're thinking, well, I'm brand new. Okay, great. Michael's saying I should go and jump in and set up all this technology and CRMs and project management tools. Stop, because if you're early stage, you should not be touching any of those things really. You want to keep things as simple as possible. Your sole focus should just be on doing outreach, creating content, getting in front of your ideal clients, having conversations, winning business. Once you've landed several clients, you've validated that your expertise is in demand, you've identified a problem that you're great at solving, right? You have that in place, then you can start thinking, and you should start thinking about more delegation. But if you're just getting started, don't worry about delegation, don't worry about technology and systems unless you're launching a firm from day one. That's really important because I don't want you overcomplicating things or making investments into things that are not going to be right for you. However, if you're at a stage right now, which I'm sure many of you are, where you're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars per year, you validated, you know that there's demand, you have experience working with multiple clients, then yes, you should be looking at these inefficiencies and the waste that exists inside of your business and find ways to streamline that and delegate that. I know that some people, and I remember back in the day, my early consulting businesses, I had this mindset of, well, I'll just wait to delegate. I'll wait to invest more into my business until I land one more client or until my income gets to $10,000 a month or whatever it was back then. And I would always kind of push that bar a little bit more. I'd always be waiting, where really in hindsight, what I should have been doing was delegating sooner, was bringing on a VA sooner, was getting some kind of tool or technology. And again, not from day one, but once you're established to a certain level. And the reason for that is because the mindset I had, and I believe likely many of you might have now as well, is that you should try and keep more money in your own pocket, delay it a little bit longer, right? And you see delegation, you see investing in these kinds of systems and tools and so forth as cost. But really what I want to encourage you to think about and view this as is as an investment, because if it provides a return for you, then it is not a cost, it is an investment, right? If you think about the cost of you doing this work, let's just make it very simple and say that the value that you can create in your business is $50,000 per month. It's gonna be different for different people. Let's just make that up. Let's say that you have a business, or you wanna have a business that can generate $600,000 per year. And so your main role is to generate $50,000 per month to create the $600,000 per year. But if you're spending time right now in your business doing things that you could pay someone $2,000 per month to do, you're losing $58,000 in potential value because you're spending your time on things that you shouldn't be. So you need to think, again, not as an employee mindset. You need to think as a business owner mindset and look at what you can do to create more from less. Next is strategic client selection. What do I mean by this? So if you want to be able to earn more with less, then you can't treat and should not treat all clients and all opportunities as being equal, because they're not. You want to get very clear on identifying your ideal client. You want to think about which industries, which types of clients have bigger budgets, who is more likely to be able to invest a lot more for you. And I'll give you a very hopefully clear example of this. Let's imagine that you are a consultant working in the agricultural space, and you help with launching new products. You might find that there is a local agricultural store in your area, and they're doing $2 million per year. Their profit margin, though, is 10%. You could help them to grow. Now, you could also look and say, well, these other kind of mid-sized ad companies who are doing hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, and if they also have a need, if they have a problem, if they have a desire to launch new products more effectively, and if you have the ability to help them with that, because maybe you come from a big kind of agricultural company background, then by focusing on the smaller clients, you know, just essentially by default, that their ability to pay you higher fees is going to be limited. Whereas if you target and focus on larger companies that have the ability to invest more, because the value of solving that problem is significantly greater, then targeting those companies, right, means that they're going to be able to pay you a lot more because the value of what you deliver is greater for them than it is for smaller clients. So I want to encourage you to not view all clients, all buyers, and all opportunities as being equal, because they're not. In the early days of your business, you should be more flexible. You should allow yourself to explore, to potentially take on some clients that you learn are not the ideal for you, because you're learning. But as you become more established as a consulting business owner, it becomes incredibly critical, and especially if you have a team, because now you're responsible for others and their livelihood and their families. You want to always think strategically, and you want to look at which opportunities are actually the right ones for us to proceed with, because they create the greatest opportunity and value for us. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's talk about the final way here that you can earn more in less time. And that is really thinking about building more scalable revenue streams. There's many different ways to do this. And we work with our clients in our Clarity Coaching program on all of these different things that I'm talking about, where we apply it to their specific situation. And so if you are interested in getting help to take your consulting business to the next level, click on the link probably below this video here, or go to consultingsuccess.com, click on coaching, learn more about the Clarity Coaching program. And if you're interested, just schedule a call. We'll be happy to chat with you about your specific situation and go over a plan of how we can help you to take your business from where it is today to that next level of business and personal success. All right, so let's talk about the fifth way here for you again. So I said building scalable revenue streams. It could be digital products. We have many clients that we've helped to take their IP, their knowledge, their skills, their experience, and package it in a way that they can actually deliver their expertise digitally. And that could be through some sort of a leadership training program that is done online, right? So instead of working one-to-one with a client or an individual, you work one-to-many in a group cohort or group setting. Other clients have developed or taken their expertise and packaged it into an LMS, learning management system, which then their clients buy access to, or they license access to them. And that's creating a bit of passive revenue or passive income inside of their businesses. Another way to think about scalable revenue streams is that if right now you are the one doing all of the delivery for your business, you start to build a team, and these can be part-time or contract. More likely, you'll want them to become full-time down the road, so that you can really work very closely and have all of their dedication. It doesn't always have to be full-time, but you want someone who can put in time, and you work with them so that they are actually able to deliver your content, your IP, your methodology, your system, your program for you. And so doing that, again, allows you to extract yourself out of the day-to-day and the delivery. And so if you think about scaling and growing, if all the delivery is attached to you, that's not going to scale and grow that much, or not to, certainly you're going to reach a ceiling and kind of cap yourself. But if you have one person that now you can use to deliver, and then you have another person, and you can continue to add people, right, as the demand and kind of opportunity increases for you. And that's why many companies, right, start to staff up when they are able to deliver on that demand. And that model works really well. So several different ways here. I think we went over 5 specific ways for you to earn more while working less. There's a whole bunch more, but I want to cover these 5 for you here today. If you have questions about this, if you want to talk about, again, your specific business and your situation, we've helped over 1,000 consultants to grow their consulting businesses, to really shift from being an employee in your consulting business to being a strategic consulting business owner, so that you can grow and reach those new levels of success. Click on the link below this video, or get in touch by going to consultingsuccess.com. Again, click on that coaching link, get in touch. We'd love to chat with you and see how we can help you to achieve those goals.